Alrighty, what's going on, guys? This is Brother Kane, and whether you guys are buckled up, ready to go, or not, let's get right onto the urban legend videos. Today we'll be talking about the Alamo Plaza, which is located in San Antonio, Texas, and we will jump straight into the history of the Alamo Plaza. Now, before the Alamo earned its nickname, it was known as Mission San Antonio de Valero. The area of the church had been chosen by Father Antonio de San Buenaventura y Boleros after the monks' first established mission, San Francisco de Solano, in the Rio Grande Valley, had just gotten worse. While the mission had failed near Nacogdoches, where the monks ran frightened for their lives, the missionaries gathered under a cottonwood tree along the banks of the San Antonio River. Although the area was chosen in 1724, work did not begin on Mission San Antonio de Valero Stone Church until 1744. Although this mission would be the first of the 5 missions built by the Franciscan monks along the San Antonio River, its purpose was to help spread the ideals of Roman Catholicism to the local Native American people who inhabited the region. In 1793, the Spanish began to profane their mission, starting with San Antonio de Valero. For a time, the church became the location of the first hospital in Texas. Soon, it was outfitted as a fort and was assigned a brand new nickname, Alamo, for the cottonwood tree that Father Antonio had once gathered below nearly 8 years earlier. The word Alamo became the Spanish term for cottonwood. The layout of the compound was absolutely perfect for barracks, but no one in the rising city of San Antonio was surprised when by 1803 a company of 100 heavily armed soldiers and their families moved in. For 32 years, the Alamo's defenders would protect the city from the raiding Apaches and Comanches. But when Mexico earned its independence from Spain in 1821, the people of San Antonio and the cavalrymen who called the Alamo home turned to their own hope for freedom from the reigning Mexican regime, which led up to the Battle of the Alamo. The Texas Revolution broke out on October 2nd, 1835 near the town of Gonzales. The Texian groups joined together, driving into San Antonio. December 5th, 1835 marked the 5-day brutal struggle with the Mexican troops. For 3 long days, the fight lashed on between the Texians and General Martin Prefecto de Cos. Following the brutal war, people were getting shot left and right in their houses from snipers seated on the top of the roofs as they scoped out the targets below. On the street level, opposing forces clashed together in hand-to-hand combat, where the only sure thing was seeing the face of your killer before your eyes slid closed and the breath left your body. Both the Texians and the Mexicans struggled to gain any sort of control of the city of San Antonio, but in the end, the Texians would win the fight, forcing the Mexican authorities to surrender. General Cos had signed over pretty much everything that the Texians had demanded, which included property, money, loads of ammunition, and weapons. Cos had moved his troops to the Rio Grande Valley, and the siege of Bexar came to a close. However, the win was short-lived. Now, on to the best part as we talk about the spirits who linger around the Alamo Plaza. By 1846, Texas had been annexed into the U.S., and the old Alamo was then converted into a complex for the U.S. Army. In 1871, the decision came to demolish part of the old church, leaving only the old barracks and the church itself. When a newspaper voiced the dissection of the historic Mission San Antonio de Valero, sightings of spirits wandering the grounds of the church began to be reported, and almost all of them coming from the guests staying at the Menger Hotel. They had all seen the spirits of a long-ago army marching up and down the path in front of the Alamo Plaza. Some of the spirits disappeared into the walls of the building, and others stood guard all night as if protecting the site from anything or anyone who might try to tear it down. Now, rather than tearing it down, the Alamo became home to a police headquarters and jail instead. Between 1894 and 1897, the San Antonio Express News published a series of articles of paranormal activity occurring at the Alamo. Reports describe the ghostly guards which marched up along the roof of the police station, the dark figures roaming the corridors at night, and distinct sounds of moaning that awoke not only the staff, but the prisoners from their sleep. The activity got so high spirited, so alive in its frequency, that guards started to refuse being on patrol shift at night. The cops were fuming. Not one single officer, not one single cop, not one single police would take those shifts in fear of running across one of the many ghosts of the Alamo still haunting the grounds, and the prison was forced to move not too long after. One of the most commonly spotted ghosts at the old mission is that of a blonde-haired boy. More often than not, he is seen in the upstairs window of what is now part of the Alamo gift shop. According to legends, it is believed that the little boy was evacuated during the siege of the Alamo. Even though the boy survived, it's thought that his parents did not survive, and his spirit returns over and over again to the site where he last saw his parents. The little boy's ghost is seen most frequently during the month of February. Lastly, along the outer walls of the Alamo, the ghostly figure of what is believed to be a Mexican soldier has been seen by tourists and locals of San Antonio. This ghostly Mexican soldier is believed to be General Manuel Fernandez de Castrillon, who refused to lay siege to the Alamo. When the Battle of the Alamo came to an end, 6 men were brought to General Castrillon to surrender. The general offered the men his protection, but Santa Anna refused this act of truce and ordered the Texians' executions. Santa Anna was infuriated when Castrillon refused to follow orders, so he murdered the 6 men himself, hacking each one of them, one by one, to death with a sharp-bladed saber, and nearly killed Castrillon himself. Now that's all I have for you guys today. I really want to thank all of you guys for listening, tuning in to watch this, as we still continue urban legends, and there will still be more to come. So make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up if you like what you see. Make sure you guys subscribe if you have not already, so we can continue to be on the rise to 400 subscribers as we approach the next urban legend, which I will see you guys next week on. Peace.